Hi friends, we're back. Rusty with you here, and I welcome you to the all-new Meteo Mundo. I'm so excited to share with you all of the changes and upgrades that we've made to the channel to make this the most accurate and easy to understand weather forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. It's been tough to be away, but we think that the changes that we've made is going to bring you a whole new experience that you've never seen anywhere else. The first thing I want to do, I want to thank all of our subscribers and especially all of our members for sticking with us. Thank you for your well wishes. The other thing is to talk about the changes. The first thing that I want to talk about is that we're now broadcasting in high resolution 4K. So if you have a device like a television or a computer or a tablet that can watch video in high resolution, go ahead and crank up that resolution because we're now broadcasting in that higher 4K quality. The other thing, even if you've been a friend of the channel the last couple of years, all this information that you see on your screen is going to be completely new to you. So I want to walk you through what experience you should expect for these daily forecast videos. On the right-hand side of your screen, those are going to be our big weather headlines, the major events of the day that I'm going to be covering for you as we move through this video. Kind of consider this a rundown of the video. So because I'm talking about what's happening right now for the new Meteo Mundo, I'm going to highlight that headline. On the bottom of your screen, that is our weather ticker. By the way, we call all of this our information hub because there's going to be so much more information for you guys to digest and see in your area. It's going to be like a snap of a finger. You're going to be able to see exactly what's going on in your region. For the ticker, it's going to have all of the impactful weather across the area, any advisories, any watches, any warnings, any marine statements, anything that could really impact you, it's going to be down there. So if there's a gale warning in the Bahamas, it will be there. If there's a severe thunderstorm chance in Puerto Rico, yep, it'll be down there. Swell information in Barbados, flash flood issues in Belize, all of that will be there as of the recording of this video. Bottom left-hand side of your screen, I'm really excited about this. Your 5-day forecast for over 45 cities in our area. You're going to get the daily sky condition, the daily maximum daytime high, both in Fahrenheit and Celsius, and the chance for rain. And again, because I don't have to stop the video to show you guys a full screen graphic of island by island rain chances over the next 3 days, all of it's down here in real time. These videos should hopefully be shorter, and that's good for both me and you. But again, not a 3-day forecast, a full 5-day forecast. And by the way, these are my forecasts. I've spent a lot of time the last couple of months working with and customizing some of the big weather models to provide you guys with what I think is going to be the most accurate forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. So again, a forecast you're not going to get anywhere else in here at Meteo Mundo. But I'm not done. About halfway through the video, those 5-day forecasts are going to go away. And for my boaters, for my fishermen, boy, do I have a great surprise for you. Your marine forecast over the next 2 days, really detailed marine forecast for over 25 major harbors, cruise ports, and fishing areas across the region. You're going to get your maximum wave heights, both in feet and meters. You're going to get the swell and wave direction, and then detailed tide information, the type of tide, the exact time, and the magnitude of that tide, plus your daily updated water temperature in those areas. Again, we have created all of this new information so that it's so readily available for you guys, so it's very easy to understand as we move through these videos. And that's what the daily forecast video is going to look like, the template. We have even more upgrades coming when we go live covering tropical storms and hurricanes for you guys. Of course, this channel is for you. Love to hear from you guys in the comments section below as we move along what you guys think of the new Meteo Mundo. So the first big weather headline that we're going to be covering for today are some stronger storms that have been developing in the Bahamas. As we move through the weekend, we saw a pretty significant cold front roll across southern Florida and into the Bahamas, and that promoted some hefty thunderstorms today through portions of Freeport, Lucaya, Grand Bahama, the Abacos, Eleuthera, Nassau, New Providence, southern Florida, even back down towards portions of Cuba. We're actually seeing the most significant storms developing here late on this Monday afternoon. Temperatures have come down, wave heights have been kicked up. There still is a severe weather watch for the northern and potentially even into the central Bahamas. We could see some of those showers and storms sag down as the boundary is beginning to stall out. Now, rain chances will still be high for these areas tomorrow, but the threat for stronger storms will be coming down. When you follow the front back into that really thick cloud coverage here on our high resolution visible satellite imagery, the temperature in Bermuda today with some passing showers, just 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Following the front into the central and the western sides of Cuba, look at the thunderstorms breaking out from Cienfuegos on over towards Havana, becoming very localized with some heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning. You see that lightning counter really beginning to crank up here over the last half hour or so. The front does extend into the northern sides of Quintana Roo. We've seen a few thunderstorms develop near Cancun and Cozumel for today. Merida trying to get some rain, and I hope they do, because starting tomorrow, daytime highs there will be at or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been a relatively quiet day for my friends in the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. Again, a couple of scattered showers here and there, mainly localized than anything else. Fairly hot. There is a little shear line. You can see that in the visible satellite imagery. It's going to promote a little bit stronger winds the next couple of days. And I could see a few showers developing along the east coast of Jamaica, back down towards the Kingston area. But again, as far as, really widespread thunderstorm chances, it's really not in the cards for our friends in Jamaica over the next 3 days or so. We're going to get a little bit better chance for a few showers in Hispaniola along the southern coastline from Lakay to Santo Domingo and Punta Cana compared to central and northern areas. But it's not a bad thing to dry out a bit here. We've had some really hefty thunderstorms and some flood issues the last week or two in portions of the Dominican Republic. So drying out a little bit is not a bad thing. Speaking of drying out, that's the situation over the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, where we're going to have a couple of scattered showers here, but the moisture is still somewhat limited this time of the year. It has been a very breezy day. I put the wind gusts in miles an hour on, so for St. Croix and St. Thomas and St. John and Ponce and Fajardo and San Juan, we're going to see some winds freshening to 20, 25 miles an hour. This will promote a couple of light scattered showers in the afternoon, but again, few and far between, passing rain, not a lot of significant rainfall totals expected here. Same situation for the northern side of the Lesser Antilles. St. Bart's had a wind over 30 miles an hour earlier in the day. Some building cloud coverage has kept temperatures down a little bit here today, mid-upper 80s for the most part. A couple of areas sneaking to the upper 80s. And you can see on the 5-day forecast that will scroll there in your area. The rain chances could improve a little bit. Temperatures could come down a bit, but generally speaking, not a lot of rain in the eastern Caribbean the next few days. A couple of passing showers here for us. Now, I do expect rain chances to be even a little bit lower and temperatures going up when you get south of Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe should still be an area that has some decent rain chances, but Dominica is south, Martinique, St. Lucia, higher, drier, more sunshine, even a little bit of Saharan dust mixed in, and the rain chances will be relatively low. Barbados, a few passing showers the next couple of days right now, still relatively quiet, trying to pull in some cloud coverage and a few showers over SVG as far south as Grenada for today. Can't rule out a shower in Tobago, but very limited on this Monday. Expecting most of Trinidad to be dry, of course. Always let me know in the comments section below if you guys have caught some of this rain. Nueva Esparta is likely to see a dry Monday into Tuesday. Very limited rain chances in the ABC Islands, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba, all with daytime highs in the mid and the upper 80s, but rain chances will be on the lower side. Here's an area where that's going to change. I do expect there to be some pretty significant rain through portions of Central America over the next couple of days, especially as you get into Panama and Costa Rica. Panama, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, there's an area that is likely to be impacted by significant rain each and every day. They could get 25 to 50 plus millimeters on a daily basis, and some 3-day totals that could be over 200 millimeters, mainly for places like Panama City, probably a little bit too far south from San Jose, Costa Rica, but still Costa Rica and the southern sides of Nicaragua likely to see some showers and storms developing. You get north of there to Honduras, it does dry out. Not a lot of rain in the forecast for the next few days for Roatan, Utila, and Guanaja. If we're going to get a couple of passing showers here in portions of Belize and Guatemala, it will likely be along the coastline, but not expecting a lot of significant showers there. So again, looking at the rain chance overall, it will be with this boundary from Bermuda to the central and the northern sides of the Bahamas. Turks and Caicos could get into a couple of showers as well, but as that front begins to stall out, the rain chances are going to start to fall apart just a little bit for our area as well. Okay, so let's get into what's going to be happening across the area for the rest of the week. So let me bring that up for you guys here real quick. Hit a button real fast and then hit this to let you guys know to send us your pictures and videos. We're back in the business, guys. I want to see locally what's happening in your area. Send me a picture or video. The easiest way to do that is going to be mymediamundo@gmail.com. All right, so let's get into the weather story here for the rest of the week. As we do so, I'm going to bring up the tide information. The first big story that I do want to talk about is the fact that we have our first tropical wave of the season. Now, look, it's early May. It's not a significant wave, but it is out there. Easiest way to show you that is going to be on the visible satellite imagery, and it's basically off of the South American coast. Look, I know it's kind of hard to see for you here, but the wave is right about here. It's going to increase the moisture across northern sides of South America over the next day or two. I can show you this also on the infrared satellite imagery. The wave is attached to what we call the intertropical convergence zone and the monsoon trough, which goes back to the west coast of Africa. There is another wave developing off the West African coast that'll be moving offshore. Again, this time of the year, they're low latitude. They kind of slam into South America. There's a lot of drier air with the Saharan dust to the north. Again, extra showers for the northern coastline of South America are possible with this, potentially down the road dragging in a little bit moisture to the southern Antilles, but that would be about it for at least what that tropical wave might be doing. Now, what I do expect to see is an increase in the waves and the wind across the central and the southern sides of the Caribbean beginning on our Tuesday for the rest of the week. So let me show you that on our wind vector model here, where you guys see the purples and the pinks. That's the most significant winds, 20 to 25 knots. That'll be freshening up in places like Barbados and TNT and Grenada through Nueva Esparta, the ABC Islands, maybe the southern coastline of Jamaica. So marine interest, boating interest, keep that in mind if you're looking at these forecasts marine-wise for tomorrow and then beyond. We're likely to see the wave heights in those areas that I just mentioned rise a little bit. It's going to be pretty choppy in Bermuda with the next cold front coming offshore from the United States East Coast. Not as much rain with the next front, but it's going to be kicking up some sea conditions, and that could also freshen up some offshore water wave heights for the eastern side of the Bahamas and the central and the northern sides as well. When we look at the wave heights overall over the next couple of days, and as we do so, I'm going to just take a quick second here and drop off that tide information so you guys can see that. Look for the greens and the yellows. Those are the more significant wave heights. There's that cold front coming off the United States East Coast, and then there's that area that I'll be monitoring for later this week and into early in mid next week. A secondary push of rain and wind will be moving into the Eastern Caribbean by mid next week as well. So a little bit more active pattern, especially on the marine interest side, where we could see some improving wave heights. So boaters, please keep that in mind for those areas. Okay, back over to what's going to be happening here for our area as far as rain chances go. So let me drive that and bring up the model, and we're going to take a look at what's going to be happening in your area here. So a couple of areas to be watching for better rain chances, and it's along our boundary, and it's into our southern latitude areas, which is very typical for early May, right? A lot of, the Antilles area here to the Greater Antilles struggles to get a lot of widespread rain. So central, northern Bahamas, likely to have a better rain chance the next couple of days than the southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Not going to rule out a couple of showers for Grand Turk, but that front begins to die out before the rain really gets there for the most part. Cuba's rain chances will fall apart as well, though Cienfuegos west towards Havana, likely to see additional showers as we get into our Tuesday afternoon. Again, we could use the rain in Mexico, Quintana Roo, but look, Merida going to be going well above 100 degrees Fahrenheit starting tomorrow with limited rain chances the rest of the week. Trying to improve the rain chance a little bit overall in the Western Caribbean. I don't expect a lot of rain for Roatan, Utila, Guanaja, as far west as Belize. Again, it'll be much more isolated and developing kind of on a daily basis. Same situation for the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. If we're going to get a little bit better rain, it'll be on the eastern side of Jamaica, southeast sides towards Kingston, Port Antonio areas. Montego Bay could see a couple of showers here and there, but don't expect anything to be extremely concentrated. Many dry hours and locations. Scattered showers are likely to develop a little bit more prominently. The southern sides of Hispaniola, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. Santo Domingo, Punta Cana, you've got a better chance in areas north towards Puerto Plata. Don't expect a lot of rain in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the rest of the Virgin Islands as well. Again, some passing showers, but the moisture here is relatively shallow overall. So rain chances, and you saw them in the 5-day forecast, are going to be 20, 30, 40% chance at best. Rain totals, and we'll look at those in just a second, they're not going to be fairly significant for all of the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and most of the Lesser Antilles. I do expect Dominica North, slightly better chance for rain here. Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Bart's, fresher winds, St. Martin, Sabas, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat. Improving Wednesday after lower rain chances tomorrow. So few showers today, drier Tuesday, slightly higher Wednesday, Thursday, and kind of a moderate chance on Wednesday. But relatively speaking, lower rain chances, as I've already mentioned, Dominica, but especially Martinique South, St. Lucia, Barbados. Now, late in the period, again, I will be watching for a little bit moisture to try and develop, and potentially by Saturday, Sunday, rain chances may try to improve again in these areas. Barbados, SVG, Grenada, Trinidad, Tobago, Nueva Esparta, not going to catch a lot of rain. In the same situation for our friends in the ABC Islands. Unfortunately, just not a lot in the cards with the limited moisture and a little bit in the way of some Saharan dust for you guys as well. So, that is basically what's been happening here as far as what's next. Look, I don't want to forget this headline. Let me bring it up. The what's next headline. That's what we've been talking about here as we've moved over the last couple of minutes. Okay, so what does it look like rainfall total wise for you guys? There's the front, a few inches of rain possible here. Again, can't rule out Grand Bahama, New Providence getting 1 to 2 inches. Otherwise, the rain chances and totals are relatively low. We're all going to get the opportunity here, but for the Antilles, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, the northern sides of Mexico and Central America, not a lot of rain. You get down towards Panama and Costa Rica, that's the most significant. Again, maybe more than 200 millimeters, more than 4 inches of rain in some spots over the next 5 days, and some areas could be much more than that. That is an area that I am fairly concerned with. We're talking about the opportunity for some heavier, significant flooding rain, and that's what I'm going to be watching as we go through the rest of the week. So again, back out to the big perspective to wrap up the video. Thunderstorms continuing in the Bahamas for you right now. Would expect a little bit cooler weather here, hot, mainly dry central in the eastern areas with some scattered showers down towards Panama and Costa Rica. Friends, I appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments section below if you got any questions. I'm happy to answer those. Thanks for tuning into the all-new Meteo Mundo. I hope you enjoyed that. We're back tomorrow with your latest daily forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. Until then, take care. I'll see you soon.